Amateur debut, as well as Trey Glass's amateur debut. John O'Brien, like I said, a young boy of 18 years old. The sky's the limit. He's got nothing but time. I train with this kid, John O'Brien. He puts in the work.
This bout brought to you by Nick Abbott Insurance, the all-in-one stop for your insurance needs. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Trey Glass. And his opponent, standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, John O'Brien. 3 rounds with Mike England as your referee.
This bout is brought to you by Impact Signs. Impact4800.com.
It's Saturday night and it's time to fight!
John O'Brien seeming to feint and use head movement. John O'Brien looking to, punching off the break. Both fighters exchanging heavy off the break.
Man, good uppercut coming up from John O'Brien.
Both fighters exchanging straight punches hard and fast up the middle. John O'Brien definitely has the takedown on his mind here. If you're John here and you're looking to get the takedown, what kind of things are you looking to do to set it up?
You definitely have to set up with your striking. You can't just dive in there and shoot from a long distance. You have to close the distance with your striking. You know, maybe throw a hook in front of the face and then lower your level and then take your shot. You have to set it up. You can't shoot from that far away.
Yeah, and especially when both fighters are this fresh and this energized early, it's going to be hard to dictate that pace.
There you go. Now John's got his underhook, putting him up against the fence here. He needs to try to get his hips closer. But Trey breaks it.
Glass doing a great job of keeping separation. You can tell Glass wants to keep this fight on the feet, so he's doing a good job at circling off and keeping Bryan, you know, without being an over-under or a clinch per se.
It's like John's already marked up a little bit underneath that right eye, so.
Yeah, let's see if that little mouse seems to play a factor later on in the bout.
Oh, big shot by Trey Glass.
Yeah, Trey Glass seems to be landing here. Both fighters throwing heavy. I think Trey Glass is the fighter landing as of right now. John O'Brien stepping over the right leg, looking for a single leg. Glass, separates and takes the center, and a jab. O'Brien's got to be careful lunging forward. A stiff jab from Trey Glass.
Long jab. And it looks like Trey's really starting to find his range here on his striking.
John O'Brien having a tough time getting in on Glass with these takedowns, and Trey Glass is having his way on the feet right now.
I mean, where you at here right now if you're Trey Glass? I mean, you let him up and get back on your feet, or you try to take the back? I mean, he's looking phenomenal on his feet with those long strikes.
Yeah, it's hard to say, you know, because up on the feet, anybody can catch anybody, and here he seems to be in a good position. But with that much success, you got to think he wants to go back there. But he's landing heavy shots here from the wrestler's position, touching the ears up on John O'Brien. John O'Brien's got to get moving, or the ref's going to look in here to stop this fight. He's landing some heavy shots.
Yeah, looks like he's just staying right there. He's content there and lands these big shots here. Oh, man.
John O'Brien looking to pull guard here to get away from those shots. Glass landing heavy leather on John O'Brien. Trey Glass with some shots after the bell. Trey Glass is all over John O'Brien. John O'Brien seems to be hurt and cut. He's bleeding from the nose and his lower right eye. A solid round for round number 1 from Trey Glass.
One thing, you have a tough round like that in your debut, you're a little beat up, you're tired, you're not really sure what's going on, but then you look up and you have UFC veteran James Krause in your corner. Go ahead and talk. I mean, what do you think James is telling him here?
You know, if I'm James here, I'm going to tell John, you know, don't overextend on your punches here. Don't look to land the big one. Just shadow box with some simple 1-1-2s in front of him. Use that shadow boxing to close that awkward distance. Once that awkward distance is closed, then look to wrestle. So yeah, we are going to strike to close the gap, but we need to strike smart. We don't need to open ourselves up while striking to get that takedown. That's the message I would relay to John O'Brien to get in on Trey Glass's quick hips.
I think it should have been a little closer. That was some phenomenal coaching there.
Thank you.
Round 2 starting off here. Let's see what happens. The great strike from Trey already starting off that long jab.
Both fighters seem to be in great shape here.
Ooh, both exchanged big shots.
You know, and this is just another example we were talking about earlier with 2 fighters in their debut. Both guys, the future, the sky's the limit with both these guys. Both these guys look solid, good technique. Glass is just opening up on him with big shots. O'Brien answers back, firing forward. O'Brien might be taking the better end of this beating right now, but he is not slowing down. He is not out of this fight. He is still coming forward, throwing big, but Glass still keeping his range and peppering away. If you're Glass, what do you do to keep the range and keep that jab going?
One, he needs to take his single shots. He looks like he's starting to get a little tired from punching himself out, so I think he needs to step off line, create his angles. Here, now he's on top. He needs to circle off. And well, now he's got good heavy hips here, and right back to where he did a lot of damage in round 1. So maybe to stay heavy on the hips here and land these big shots to the body, going in through the armpit to the chin, and that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Oh, big shot from Glass on the break, and another shot.
Looks like John O'Brien snuck a little left hand in there.
Trey Glass lands a nice 1-2, left cross right to the chin. John O'Brien's taking a lot of heavy leather in his first amateur bout.
The range game is a big difference right here. Trey staying really long with his straight punches and getting in there, getting faster, getting cleaner shots off.
Yeah, not only is Glass active with his strikes, but he's accurate. He's throwing a lot of punches, and a lot of them are landing. This is a great, this guy's got some good striking ability. You know, as O'Brien seems to be dying on his knees here, what do you recommend he does to finish this takedown? He could look for a peek out, look to get to his feet. What do you think is the best bet?
You know, for right now, I'm just going to build it to my feet, which he's doing right now, and try to get back up. You know, he's too extended. He needs that. There you go. He needs to try to circle to his left, either attack a single leg or back to his feet and get to his underhooks. You know, right now, I'd be fishing for underhooks. Try to make this a little closer so you don't get punched over the top. Good shot, but he's stopping. He needs to keep driving his feet once he gets in on those hips. He's shooting in, he's getting the hips, and he's stopping right there.
So are you saying that O'Brien got in on the hips well there and just kind of died? Maybe he just needs a little more follow through?
Absolutely. It was a great shot. He got all the way on the hips, and then he stopped, and he didn't follow through. And then that's when Glass finally hipped in, sprawled out, and that's when he stopped the shot.
And now Glass almost gets full mount. Now he's into side control here. O'Brien does have the underhook, and he's shrimping to his right hip. Let's see if he gets something going, but there's the 10-second warning. Big round for Glass. Glass is laying the leather here and laying the punishment. This is so far all Trey Glass, but both fighters are still in it.
Well, it's going to come down to cardio here. Round 3, you know, John's been taking a beating for 2 rounds towards the end, but you know, this is where champions are made in the 3rd round, because someone can get tired, and this is where the other one comes back and shows up who's in shape and, you know, who can finish this fight.
Absolutely. I'm looking at both guys here. Obviously, Trey Glass was the hammer for the whole 2nd round. Both guys were very active, but neither guy seems tired. It's impressive. John O'Brien was taking a lot of hard shots. He still looks to be gathered, composed, and have good cardio. Trey Glass just seems to be rolling here. He seems to be in good shape. He seems to be picking his shots and landing. So I don't think cardio is going to be an issue for either guy going into the 3rd round, which is kind of plays it to a testament to the gyms they come from.
For sure. You could tell both the awareness in the corner listening to their coaches. Everything going to the 3rd round, they're both tired. You know, John's a little beaten up and everything, still pushing through, still trying to get his shots in, and it's all from cardio. Much respect shown right here in round 3 between both these fighters.
Yeah, both guys are fighting hard still.
Got some good head movement coming out with John O'Brien here. Let's see if he can use it for his striking and actually land one of these takedowns.
And a nice body kick from Trey Glass. O'Brien is answering to Glass's strikes. They seem to be a little bit late, but he is responding. An outside leg kick from O'Brien. Glass with that jab.
This is the best O'Brien's looked so far. He looks like he's holding the center. He's pushing the pace. He's kind of pushing him back here, throwing that jab out, throwing combinations. Good movement with his head.
Another nice jab from Trey Glass. Glass seems to be just composed, sitting on the outside and scoring his jab.
Again, I think it's just the range here. John's doing some great things, but he's just a little too far out and not being able to connect anything. And every time Trey Glass throws, he's finding his range. He's connecting right there.
Trey Glass. John O'Brien has a chin. Trey Glass stuck him with a hard cross. John O'Brien is the fighter walking forward, but Glass is manipulating the distance, manipulating the angles, and just basically just pop-shotting him at this point. Popping jabs, popping his cross behind his jab.
And looks like he's having a good time out there. Big sprawl, big shots here. Heavy, heavy hips. And he's just not letting John O'Brien take him down.
Yeah, it seems like Glass is doing a good job at just staying composed, keeping control of his gas tank, and just doing what he needs to do to get the job done. He's definitely pitching a shutout here in these last 2 rounds.
Much respect to John O'Brien here. There's no quit in him. He's still driving, still going for the takedowns, still coming forward, even though he's taking some big shots in this fight.
Yeah, O'Brien's still shadow boxing, still moving forward, still in a good stance. We're seeing great things from both fighters here. Oh, and a big punch on the break there.
Man, Trey's being really composed here.
And there's the fight. There's a good stoppage, I think, from Mike England.
I think so. You know, with these amateurs, they're both making their debut. Like we said, John O'Brien being 18 years old, there's no reason to let him take a big beating in there. He's already taking some big shots, some big punches.
Yeah, the competitiveness of the fight started to go away. And with the head trauma and the amateur fights, I think that was a good stoppage. But, you know, like I was saying earlier, with guys like this, you know, tonight is not the end goal. Tonight wasn't even necessarily the beginning of what these guys are set out to do. And so, you know, the way I look at this is both guys, the sky's the limit. John O'Brien, 18 years old. Trey Glass, I think he's 24 years old, both debuting fighters. Both these guys, I can't wait to see what the future holds for them in the next 3 to 5 years from now. But John O'Brien, keep your head up, because that was a great performance and a tough first fight.
And then Trey Glass went out there, found his range early, landed some big shots, stopped all the takedowns, some great ground and pound, and really just looked phenomenal tonight.
Yeah, great performance from Trey Glass. I'm really excited to see what's next for this kid.
Once again, let's give a round of applause for both fighters.
Great fight from both fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended in 2 minutes and 40 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by TKO via strikes, out of the blue corner, Trey Glass.